Welcome back to another episode of Talking Sports with your boy DP. And it was an interesting weekend of college football, conference championship games, preferably to say. And yes, it was some teams that performed interesting, and it was some teams that solidified their spot in this college football playoffs. But before I get too in depth, I just gotta say the college football playoff format sucks. The format is all messed up, and they gotta fix this thing before next year start. They gotta get together. And I've been saying on everybody platform, I've been commenting under everybody that I watch podcasts, in the live chats, in the comment section. I've been saying G5 schools need their own playoff bracket in their own conference championship, in their own national championship game, my bad. But yes, let me say it again. G5 schools need their own college football playoff bracket in their own national championship game. They might as well set it up similar to how they got it now. They got, I want to say it's 5 G5 conferences, and I say the top 4 teams in the G5 conference champion or team with best record should be, you feel me, in the college football playoff and have second round bids automatically, you feel me. And I would say, let's say, if we did have a G5 playoffs, the teams what I would give the automatic bids to would be Army, because I think they won the American Conference, Marshall, because they won the Sun Belt Conference, Ohio, because I can't think of what conference Ohio in. They won their conference also, in Boise State, the Mountain West champions. And you feel me? The reason I ain't put Jacksonville State in the first round because Marshall had a better record than Jacksonville State. Jacksonville, I think they did also win their conference, but they're only 9-4. So I would have it set up that way. So then in the P4 conference, the P4 playoffs, we don't got to worry about teams that really don't supposed to be there, if we're being honest. A G5 school is not going to win a national championship amongst the P4 teams. I don't see it happening. I don't think it's going to happen. This is not college basketball where you get that Cinderella team that just make that crazy run. Now, I can't just say it never going to happen in life, but it's going to be more none than it do happen, you feel me? It's not going to be as often. So you might as well give those guys more to play for in those G5 schools. Give those fans more to cheer for. Give those people a more chance to just get more film out there. And the bowl games that they play in, use those bowl games to, be the playoff games in the G5 conference championship, in the G5 playoffs. I keep saying it wrong. I don't know why I keep saying conference championship. Conference championship weekend got me in the bind. But yeah, man, the G5 playoffs could, you can still have the bowl game. Just use the same bowls that you use that they already play in, but just have it set up in their playoff bracket till they get to their national championship or whatever, you feel me? And then the teams that probably will be like in the first round would be like UAV, UConn, because they independent schools, so they got an 8-4 record. So if they are good enough to make it, because I don't know how the other P4 schools, G5 schools looking. I would have to look more into each school and each record, but I just want to give a brief outlook of what it could be like if we had a G5 playoffs. And I would watch it honestly, and I would have the G5 national championship game a day before the P4 national championship game. So then you have 2 college national championship games going on, and you probably build or more, give those bowl games more, you feel me, viewers per se, because everybody wants to see somebody they grow up with or somebody they know that goes to one of these G5 schools perform, and I'm pretty sure they'll watch them, especially if they realize that they're in some type of college football playoffs where they can have a fair chance of getting to their national championship. You do it for the D2 schools and under, so why not give G5 schools a chance to compete for a national championship for real instead of for play? Because they're not going to beat these SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12 schools, you feel me? 9 times out of 10, you feel me? They gonna get that 1 time out of 10, you feel me, here and there. But for the most part, 9 times out of 10, the tougher conferences, the better conferences is gonna win. But also, too, a lot of people mad because 3-loss teams and stuff are not getting in the playoffs or whatever. I'm not that mad about it, even though Clemson got in with 3 losses, but that needs to be said. They won the conference. But I will say, like, if you get the first seed, you should be rewarded with the easiest path to the national championship. And I feel like they got Oregon with one of the toughest paths to get there. You feel me? They got to play the winner out of Ohio State and Tennessee. That's just outrageous. And then from there on out, you probably gonna have tougher games. And then you got the loser of the Big Ten championship game, Penn State, with one of the easier routes. Feel me? It might be a little cakewalk for them to get to the college football national championship game. So we shall see. And also, the lowest seed should have the toughest route to get to the national championship. I can't think of who the low. Well, let's just be honest. Me personally, even though Boise State, I want to say 12-1, they in this thing with the big dogs, and you gave them a bye. That doesn't make sense at all. Now, I don't agree that Clemson should have a bye, but since they are in a tougher conference than Boise State is, Boise State should have been automatic. Like, let me say this right. Teams like Notre Dame, which is not in the conference, and teams like Boise State, if you're going to keep G5 schools in this thing, they can't have automatic bigs. It's just not fair. It don't make sense. You basically saying the Mountain West is competitive as the rest of the power conferences, which is not true. Feel me? I know some of these conferences, you feel me, are not as far off as people may seem, but the G5 conferences and the level of competition that they play week in and week out, it's not the same as the Power Four. The closest thing that they play is probably in the Big 12, and even some of them Big 12 schools give you a run for your money. But with that being said, we finna talk about some of these championship games that happened, man. Feel me? Some of these winners. I ain't gonna be here long. Just gonna go over it briefly, feel me? Because I'm kind of late to the ordeal. Well, not usually late. It's usually around the time I be doing this, either a Monday or a Tuesday. But Arizona State, feel me? But before I even get started, I would like to say your boy was 4-0 with my picks. I picked every game right, as far as the winners, every team. And basically everything I said in my video prior to this one, I let you know what was gonna happen in these games. I literally said Arizona State finna go out there and run all through Iowa State. Arizona State defeated them 45-19, and they couldn't do nothing with Cam Scatterboo. Cam Scatterboo was all over Arizona State. He just put his paws on them, jacking them up all across the room, taking them here, taking them there, left and right, picking them up, slamming them, DDT, the people's elbow, RKO, everything, man. He was giving them the business. Cam Scatterboo on the day with 16 carries, 170 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 10.6 yards a carry, 53-yard longest run, and 2 receptions for 38 yards and a touchdown. Cam Scatterboo was giving Iowa State everything they could handle and more. And I would also like to say Sam Leavitt, the freshman quarterback for Arizona State, the young man looked nice. Had a pretty decent game too, 12-17, didn't ask much from him. 219 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns. Yeah, man, I told you, any team that come up against Arizona State running that 3-3-5 defense is finna have a long day. Besides maybe a Georgia, because Georgia got the athletes to run that 3-3-5 to a whole nother level. They got the big boys in the middle to clog stuff up, regardless of having a 4th down line, man. They gonna send them blitzes each and everywhere. So don't just let the 3-3-5 defense fool you all the way, because there's certain teams that could run it and run it to a efficient level. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this Arizona State team look in the playoffs, just as far as their running game. Because in the playoffs, man, you got to run that football, baby. But we're going to move on. I told you we ain't going to do this long. We ain't going to be here long. We finna talk about the ACC championship game. ACC champion, Clemson University. They defeated SMU 34-31. Now, mind you, the beginning of this game was looking ugly. Clemson was on their top, and they was dominating these boys. And I don't think SMU was ready for that, and they was prepared for that, how the game started. It was like they got hit in the mouth and they know what was going on. They was lost out there for a second. Clemson was playing that brand of football, tough physical football, and it was damn near a home game for Clemson. If you heard the fans listening to the fans throughout the ball game. But Cade Klubnik probably had one of his best performances of his career, even though the attempt percentage don't look like that. But hey, you got to give my dog a break. He had 4 touchdowns. But Cade Klubnik was 24 for 41, 262 passing yards and 4 passing TDs. But Bryant Wesco Jr., I want to say he's a freshman wide receiver for Clemson, with 8 receptions, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 17.9 yards a catch. I really feel like the line of scrimmage played the difference in this game. It was the main factor. And I also want to give credit to Kevin Jennings, man. He made this game more competitive in the second half. Because he ended the game 31 to 50, 304 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 INT. He was sacked twice. And I will say Clemson was hurrying him up and getting to him a lot. Feel me? Not far as sacking him, but let's just putting pressure on him, making him uncomfortable, not allowing him to sit in the pocket and get comfortable and pick him apart. And my boy Brashad Smith, he had a pretty decent game. I want to say he had 110 rushing yards. Nice day, you feel me? Especially going against a Clemson D-line. But I knew Clemson was going to be a little bit too much for SMU to handle. They was one of the best teams that SMU played all year besides BYU. And like I've already said, BYU didn't finish the season as strong as they started. We finna get to the next game, man. Told you, wasn't gonna be alone. Wasn't gonna take up too much of your time. Just rock out with me for a little bit. Listen to me spit these facts about these games in college football. But Oregon defeated Penn State 45-37 in the Big Ten championship game. And I pretty much said this was going to happen. But I will say Penn State, they impressed me a little bit. And Penn State, I don't know, but you might want to put your money on them making it to the national championship. Because the path that they have to it, not that tough. You feel me? They got SMU in the first round. And I think after that, they go play Boise State, I think. Easy peasy, beautiful cover girl situation for Penn State. But Oregon, Dylan Gabriel, the man with the plan. Now I don't want to throw too many shots at him. I don't think he deserves to be in this Heisman candidate conversation. I prefer him they put Cam Scatterbull in over him. But they to each his own. But my boy Dylan Gabriel on the day, 22 of 32, 283 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns. And the man with the plan, Tez Johnson, 11 receptions, 181 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown, and 16.5 yards per catch. Tez Johnson was getting busy out there today. Well, I ain't gonna say today, but in the game, you feel me? He was a big factor. And Jordan James was able to run the rock. I want to say he had a little bit over 80 rushing yards. But Oregon just played a team brand of football. It kind of got scary a little bit for Oregon, but they was able to get the job done with some of the mistakes Drew Aller made. Now, what I do want to say about Penn State, I feel like they threw the ball a little too much because the running game was working. The running game was working to a high level. Drew Aller on the day was 20 of 39, 226 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 2 INTs. That's why I say you put the ball in Drew Aller's hand a little too much. 39 attempts, you didn't need that at all. You know, you're in playoff football, basically. Even though it's a conference championship game, hey, you got to treat it like it's the playoffs. You run the ball and you play great defense, you win the game. Katron Allen, 14 carries, 124 rushing yards, 1 rushing TD, 8.9 yards a carry. And then my boy Nick Singleton, also running back for Penn State, with 10 carries, 105 rushing yards, and 10.5 yards a carry. That's why I say you should just stick to the run game. You got 2 running backs with over 100 rushing yards on the day. You should have put Tyler Warren in the backfield also, let him run the ball, because I knew Oregon was not going to just allow him to do whatever he wanted against him. You feel me? That was really the main factor. And we're going to talk about the last conference championship game of over the weekend, and that was UGA versus Texas. UGA come out on top, the SEC champions, 22-19. And this, what happened, in this game is exactly what I said in my pregame show. I said that I don't put my trust in Carson Beck, and he ended up getting hurt. I don't put my trust in Georgia's running game, but they ended up actually running the ball a little decent. I put my trust in this Georgia defense. Defense win championships, and you just gotta respect it. Georgia defense on the day with 6 sacks, 15 tackles for loss, and 2 INTs. The Georgia defense is too much to handle. I knew Texas was not ready for it. It was the best competition they done seen all year. Even that was the team they lost to. They lost in the beginning of the year. And people was thinking they was going to come up with some kind of scheme to be able to get the job done. But you couldn't even beat Georgia with their backup quarterback. I told you, the defense is ferocious. That defense is nasty. And Kirby Smart knows how to coach some defense. That's really what it is. That's the nail on the head, man. And I can also give you Texas drive summary. From the beginning of the game to the end of the game, this is what Texas did on offense, ladies and gentlemen. Field goal, missed field goal, punt, missed field goal, touchdown, INT, and 2 more field goals to end the game. I told you Georgia defense is serious. You can talk. I'm a Miami fan, just to be honest, but you can talk trash about the Bulldogs if you want. And no, this ain't no Bulldog shirt on the hill. You feel me? I ain't gonna say the brand. You see the ball and stuff. You feel this? I got a red shirt on the hill, but I ain't no Bulldog fan. But I just gotta get them boys they respect. I love great defense. I love hard-nosed defense. And defense wins championships. You play defense and you run the ball. Trevor Etienne, 16 carries, 94 rushing yards, 2 rushing TDs, and 5.9 yards a carry. You play defense and you run the ball. That's how you play for playoff football, and that's how you win championships. From the Super Bowl to the Natty. The team in this time of the year that play the best defense and that's able to run the ball, they usually win the game. That's one of the reasons why I also see Penn State making a run to the Natty, because they got a nasty D-line. Now, all they got to do is run the ball. Now, what they show, you can run the ball against one of the better teams in the country. The number 1 team, you got 2 running backs with over 100 rushing yards. So y'all think about that. Penn State, James Franklin, run that football, man. Don't play with it. Don't not put the games in Drew Aller's hands. And Penn State will be at the Natty this year. I'm just being honest. Y'all got the easiest route there. There should be no reason why y'all don't make it there at this point. Now, I don't know who y'all play, and I want to say the 3rd round, because if you start off in the 1st round, then you got to win 3 games, basically 3 bowl games. Then you get to the Natty, which would be cool. But hey, to each his own. But yeah, that's all I got here, man, today, man. You feel me? You just talk sports with your boy DP. Like, share, subscribe. You feel me? It's all about the Hugo Canes. And your boy DP is out of this thing, baby.